J Life. Welcome to our Tuesday evening service. It's so good to be with you tonight and to be able to share the message with you tonight. Really excited about tonight's message. I'm looking forward to being able to bring this message to you tonight. Hope you're all doing well and staying warm. It's a little bit chilly today. So let's open up in prayer and get into tonight's message. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you that I have this opportunity to bring your message tonight. Lord, I thank you that you are so good, that you are a God of love. Lord, I pray that we may listen to this message with open ears, that we may be able to go out into the world and to show your love, that we may act in love. Lord, I pray for each person who is watching tonight's message, that they may feel your love and know that they are accepted by you. Pray that you come and you fill our hearts right now. Pray this in your name. Amen. Cool. So last week, Stu started our new preaching series, We Were Made to Love. And he spoke about love matters most and how love needs to be our highest goal. And that's 1 Corinthians 14 verse 1. So I'm going to give you a quick recap on what Stu spoke about last week before we get into this week's topic. If I don't live a life of love, nothing I say will matter, because words without love are worthless. If I don't live a life of love, nothing I know will matter, because brilliance without love equals zero. If I don't live a life of love, nothing I believe will matter, because faith without love does not matter. If I don't live a life of love, nothing I give will matter, because giving is not necessarily loving. If I don't live a life of love, nothing I accomplish will matter, because relationships are more important than accomplishments. So I want you just to think of that as we go into tonight's topic, which is love is patient, love is kind. And if you don't have a notebook with you, I suggest you quickly run and get one so that you can take notes down for tonight. And I encourage you to bring a notebook and a pen every Tuesday to our Tuesday evening services, just so that you can take some notes down and you can reflect on them after the service. And tonight I'm going to be giving you a lot of Bible verses and scripture, so just jot them down. So as I said, tonight's theme and topic is love is patient, love is kind. And this is found in 1 Corinthians 13 verses 8 to 4. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, because love never fails. Tonight we're going to look at the secret to patience and the secret to kindness. So the first is the secret to patience, and that is that you need to cooperate with God. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a very patient person at all. So God has quite a sense of humor that I have to come and speak on being patient. I'm not patient by any means. If you tell me something, it needs to happen now. So waiting on God's timing for me is such a struggle. How am I supposed to cooperate with God and be patient? Sometimes I just want to take things into my own control and make sure it's done, because then I know it's done and it's going to work. And that's the type of person that I am. And I'm slowly accepting and coming to terms with the fact that God is in control, and I need to be patient and I need to learn to wait in God's timing. It's something that I'm really learning at the moment, and it's something that's come up so often, and Joel spoke about it on Sunday at Hillside, is that where you are is where God needs you to be. And that's what I've really had to accept, is that where I am in life and where God has placed me is where I need to be. And I need to be patient and I need to wait on God. And with this, we need to cooperate with God and be patient with God. God's part is to provide us circumstances, and we need to respond. And how are we going to respond? And we need to be responding in patience. Romans 5 verses 3 to 4 say, we can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they are good for us. They help us to learn to be patient. And patience develops strength of character in us and helps us trust God more each time we use it, until finally our hope and faith are strong and steady. You see, when we are put into situations and circumstances, God is testing us and encouraging us to be patient and to wait in his timing. So we need to be patient with God, but we also need to be patient with the people around us. And there are 3 things that help us to respond with patience. So the first is, discover a bigger perspective. We mustn't be looking in this narrow-eyed box perspective. We need to be looking at the bigger picture of things. And Proverbs 19 verse 11 says, a man's wisdom gives him patience. It is to his glory to overlook an offense. Then the second point that can help us respond with love is deepen your love. When you're filled with love, amongst almost nothing will irritate you. But if you're filled with anger, then everything will irritate you. And this is so true, because if you have love inside of you, you're going to give love. But if you're angry and annoyed inside, love is not going to be what you give. And the third thing that helps us to respond with patience is depending on Jesus' power. Colossians 1 verse 11 says, we also pray that you will be strengthened with all his glorious power, so you will have all the endurance and patience you need. May you be filled with joy. So now we're going to look at the secret to kindness. And kindness is love in action. It's going out and showing people love, the love of Jesus. And in Luke 10 verse 30 to 35, we read about the story of the Good Samaritan. In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expenses you may have. So in this story of the Good Samaritan, there are 4 lessons that we can learn from the Good Samaritan. So the first one is start seeking the needs of the people around us. Kindness begins with ours. Luke 10 verse 33, when he saw the man's condition, his heart went out to him. When he saw that the man needed help, he went and he helped. He didn't turn a blind eye. We often don't see the wounds of the people around us, and I think it's because of the busyness of our lives. We live in this go here, go there, quick, everything needs to be done, that we don't pay attention to what's happening around us. And we need to start seeing the wounds and the hurts of the people around us. We need to stop and slow down. And in order for us to be kind to people, we need to slow down. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 24 says, look out for the good of others. Then the second point that we can learn from the Good Samaritan is sympathize with people's pain. We need to be feeling people's emotions. Luke 10 verse 33, when he saw him, his heart was filled with pity. Romans 12 verse 15, weep with those who weep. Sympathy begins with our ears and taking the time to listen to people's pain and what they're feeling. What are the people around us experiencing and going through? Are we prepared to stop and listen? Galatians 6 verse 2 says, share each other's troubles and problems, and in this way obey the law of Christ. The third point that we can learn from the Good Samaritan is seize the moment. Luke 10 verse 34 says, kneeling beside him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with medicine and bandaged them. The Good Samaritan did three things here. He stooped down and got to the man's level. He used what he had. He used the oil and the wine, and he dressed him with bandages. The Good Samaritan tore off his own clothes and used them as bandages on the man. The Good Samaritan did what he could with what he had at that particular moment. How often do we make up excuses of, oh, I don't have that, I can't do that. Whereas the Good Samaritan stopped. He was going somewhere. He stopped. He went down. He helped the man. He used what was on him, the oil and the wine, and he took his own clothes off his back to ensure that he could help the man. But how often do we say, oh, I can't, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. We need to be using what we have, what we've been given, what we have in that particular moment. Proverbs 3 verse 27, never walk away from someone who deserves help. Your hand is God's hand for that person. Proverbs 3 verse 28, never tell your neighbor to wait until tomorrow if you can help them right now. To be a kinder person, just like the Good Samaritan, you must be willing to be interrupted. You must be willing to take risks. John 4 verse 18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. And finally, the fourth point of what we can learn from the Good Samaritan is spend whatever it takes. There is always going to be a cost to kindness. Luke 10 34 to 35, then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn, where he took care of him. The next day he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, take care of this man. If this bill runs higher than what I have paid, I'll pay you the next time I am here. Kindness is doing something for somebody without expecting anything in return. Isaiah 58 verses 7, 8, and 11 read, share your food with the hungry and bring poor homeless people into your own homes. Then your light will shine like the dawn. The Lord will always lead you. He will satisfy your needs in the dry lands. You will be like a garden that has much water, like a spring that never runs dry. Psalm 103 verse 8. The Lord is merciful. He is kind and patient, and his love never fails. I want to quickly do an exercise with you, and I want you to look at the 4 points of what we can learn from the Good Samaritan. And I want you to, if you've got a notebook and you're taking down notes, I want you to draw a scale from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 being no, 2 really, 3 sometimes, 4 often, and 5 yes. And I want you to ask yourself the following questions of how you would react in this situation if you found yourself needing to be a Good Samaritan. So the first point that we looked at was start seeking the needs of others around you. So I want to ask you, do you see the needs of others? And I want you to go on the scale and I want you to circle what you think your answer would be. The second is sympathize with the people's pain. Do you listen to the needs of others? Are you sympathizing with people? The third is seize the moment. How quickly do you respond when you see someone in need? And fourth, spend whatever it takes. Is your kindness costing you? I want you to just take some time. I want you to draw those scales for each of the points and each of the questions and reflect on that. Have you ever been in need of a good Samaritan? Have you ever needed someone just to see your hurt, hear your pain? Have you ever felt ignored? Or has someone come and been a good Samaritan for you? Can you be a good Samaritan for someone else? Are you filled with patience or impatience? Kindness or indifference? How can you be a good Samaritan? Are you able to share what is in your heart? Are you able to overflow with love? This week I want to encourage you and challenge you to be intentional about your love. Go out and love others. Be a good Samaritan. See the hurt. Hear people's pain. Seize the moment and use what you've got to love people. What is it going to cost you? What do you need to do to show these people love? And I think it speaks so beautifully of what we spoke about in our last preaching series. Love people, love God. Love God, love people. Going out and loving people because you love God. Showing people the love of God. Are you bringing people to Jesus because of your love? What are we doing as a church? What are we doing as J-Life? This week, go out and love intentionally. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this time that we've been able to gather and to connect. Lord, I pray that we may go out and be good Samaritans, that we may love intentionally. May we be patient. May we be kind. May we love like you love us. May we see the hurt and the wounds of people around us. May we hear and sympathize with them. May we seize the moment, and may it cost us something. Lord, I pray that you be with us as we go out into the week and we spread your love. I pray this in your name. Amen. It's been so good to be with you guys tonight, and I hope you're all doing well. Just a reminder, 3rd of October, we have an awesome afternoon planned worship in the forest. Send us a direct message if you'd like more information. Otherwise, please book your spot with Nicole. We have been able to open up a couple more spaces, but please, booking is essential. And if you need prayer or someone to talk to, please drop a comment. Stu, myself, and the other leaders will see the comments and we'll get in contact with you. We'll pray with you. If you want someone to come visit you, Stu, myself, Joel, Siobhan, Cam, whoever you want to come visit, we will be there and we will visit you. We want to chat to you. We want to start up a conversation. What is church to you? What is love? What do you want to chat about? We'd love to connect with you. Stay safe, and we will see you all soon.